At present, the worst war has been imposed on Pakistan. And this war is on both sides, one from Balochistan B L An and the other from Afghanistan. You know that when the Taliban government came to power in Afghanistan, celebrations were held all over Pakistan. The defeat of the United States in Afghanistan was celebrated all over the Islamic world. But we never thought that after the Taliban rule in Afghanistan, there would be more attacks on Pakistan from Afghanistan. Today the situation is such that Pakistan was attacked from Afghanistan, in which 5 Pakistani soldiers were martyred. Now the last option Pakistan has is to strike inside Afghanistan, and thirdly we have no option. The only last option we have is to attack Afghanistan with drones or missiles because of the situation that has arisen at the moment that the TTP has been fighting and 5 of our soldiers have been martyred. On the other hand, the BLA has also announced that there are going to be more attacks on Pakistan. Now how did this whole game start all of a sudden? Look, first of all you have to take India out of number 1 in this game and bring it to number 2, because America is number 1 behind this game. Because when Imran Khan visited China, Imran Khan met the President of China. China is going to give us everything. Within modern weapons, space technology, water. They are going to make projects like Palm Jumeirah in future. At the same time, China will also provide agricultural technology to Pakistan. When Pakistan gets all these things, Pakistan will work to free itself from the IMF trap. That is why the US imposed war on Pakistan. The real story behind this is that the US has now started taking revenge on Pakistan for its defeat in Afghanistan. The United States has only 2 tools. Either through the FATF or the IMF. And he has added that you can see the rising inflation in Pakistan. Our current security position is weakened by the IMF. What is the second situation? The second situation is even more dangerous than the fact that they imposed war on us through TTP and BLA and all the weapons of the Americans. This time the weapons you will see in their possession are all American weapons. That is, they have the most advanced weapons that the US military has. Besides, they don't give it to anyone. What is he doing to BLA? You see, when Pakistan said that it had NATO weapons, the Afghan Taliban said that it did not come from Afghanistan, but that the TTP is carrying out attacks from Afghanistan. Now the relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan are going to deteriorate completely. Because the Taliban had promised Pakistan that if Pakistan helps the Taliban in gaining the recognition of the world, we will not allow the land of Afghanistan to be used against Pakistan. But the Taliban have not kept their promise, and Afghanistan's land is still being used against Pakistan. And just now 5 Pakistani soldiers have been martyred. 11 of our soldiers were martyred in the clash with BLA. There have been several attacks on Pakistan in the last week as well. If this is not a war, then what is it? Whether we admit it or not, war has been imposed on us. America, Israel, India have all imposed war on us. But we never name the United States or Israel. This is what happened in Panjshir. There was a huge Israeli network that was destroyed by the Taliban. Israeli commandos were there, who later made their way through Central Asian countries with great difficulty. Israel had built the entire network, which they controlled from Tel Aviv. Now look at what has been imposed on your country. That is TTP. BLA, ISIS and all its affiliated agencies and networks have imposed war on you. India actually wanted a civil war to break out in Pakistan before the civil war broke out in India. Because we have come a long way from the Kashmir issue. We are with Kashmir only in words. Because Pakistan has stopped talking about Kashmir. On the other hand, you see India has its sleeper cells in Pakistan. And Pakistan only just makes a light statement that India is involved in terrorism inside Pakistan. At the time, the Pakistani PM should have openly raised the question inside Pakistan's parliament and in China, where the BLA and TTP terrorists got their American weapons from. But sadly, no one is willing to talk about it. Now you see that the BLA has said that the Chinese should leave Balochistan. And just think, what are the forces that want China to stop working in Gwadar? And who is behind the BLA? You will find out for yourself. Obviously, it is the United States and India, but the United States has more issues with China than India. And the only reason is that China is now replacing the United States. You can see that Putin is with China and Pakistan at the moment. And Imran Khan is going on a tour of Russia. In this case, they have a large-scale network with Pakistan. Russia is fully cooperating with Pakistan and it is moving away from India-China stands with Russia on the Ukraine issue. And all over the world, the United States is getting tired of China. Now what is America doing here that in fact America is targeting China and also targeting Pakistan in Pakistan? Now, first of all, we should ask the Taliban what Pakistan has not done to bring you to the negotiating table with the United States. Pakistan has held peace talks between the US and the Taliban and the US has been expelled from here. But even after that, terrorism is continuing in Pakistan from the land of Afghanistan. In this situation, Pakistan has no other option. The only option Pakistan has is to attack. Let Pakistan attack the hideouts of terrorists hiding in Afghanistan. Let our Air Force attack, let our drones attack. And then we tell the Taliban that you have not fulfilled the promise you made to us, now we are fulfilling our responsibility. And after that it is obvious that Pakistan-Afghanistan relations will deteriorate. But we are not ready to compromise. Those of our soldiers who belong to their families, or our entire Pakistani nation. We just keep seeing that 10 are martyred today, 5 are martyred tomorrow and 15 are martyred the day after tomorrow. We will not tolerate attacks on our brave forces even in this dire situation. We are not telling our nation that war has been imposed on us and this war is not going to stop here. Just as the Houthi rebels have now imposed war on the UAE. Similarly, war has been imposed on Pakistan and what can we do after that? Destruction has come to our doorstep. The more our projects with China, the more terrorist attacks there will be in this situation. You have to give a strong answer to India. Because India is the handler of these terrorist groups. Now is the time to disregard the Afghan Taliban. We have to attack Afghanistan now. We will attack these terrorist groups with missiles and drones. Then you will see how their screams come out. If America can attack with drones, then why can't we? We did not kill the Afghan Taliban, we killed the TTP. Let us call China and say that you are going to invest in Afghanistan. You ask the Taliban why Pakistan is being attacked from Afghan soil. Why don't you clean up TTP? We did not support the Taliban because the land of Afghanistan was being used against Pakistan. In this situation, Pakistan must declare an emergency and wipe out all these terrorist groups, otherwise this wave of terrorism could cause great harm to Pakistan in the days to come.